goes aside from my soul.
What's going on, guys? Ryan from Muscle vs. Tuner here. Today we are working on the Genesis. I have a few problems I need to get taken care of. I've been having a lot of power steering issues recently. My car's pretty much fucking broke, but it sounds broke at least. But hopefully it's just a small issue and nothing major, and we can get it fixed real quick. But I'm gonna pop the hood. We're gonna have to pull the turbo out. Probably some intercooler piping, maybe even a downpipe, some other stuff like that. We're gonna lift it up. We're gonna take a look underneath at all the power steering lines, and I might have to run new hoses or figure out what the deal is. I think it's leaking somewhere. Well, I know it's leaking somewhere because the fluid has to go somewhere. It doesn't just disappear. So I know it's leaking. I just don't know where it's leaking at. Hopefully this fixes it so that I don't have to do it again and spend like 50 bucks on power steering fluid. Here is our problem. Right here is the power steering. When we put the turbo kit in, we had to relocate it a little bit. Now somehow it's like ended up crooked, so the reservoir is crooked now. But let's see here. It's actually still full, which is surprising. So that's good. But usually you got to top it off every once in a while after I drive it. But it's coming out somewhere, and I can't see anything up here where it's leaking. There's some fluid here, which I don't know where the hell that's from. It's probably just me spilling it, probably, because there's no way it got from over there to here on its own unless it's like spewing out of there and it's nowhere else on the engine bay, so probably not it. It does feel like this is a little bit oily, which concerns me because that gets hot. And if it gets hot, it's going to start smoking, and it probably could catch on fire, which is no bueno. This hose is really flimsy for some reason. So like if it's running, you can squeeze this hose with your fingers and it will like, you can hear it sucking in air, and then the power steering starts making weird noises and shit. So here's my theory, and this is what my dad said too, and my dad knows kind of what he's talking about. He's pretty knowledgeable about cars and shit. So he's thinking that since this is the feed line that supplies the fluid, that the pump is not being able to suck enough fluid through it, so it's sucking so hard that it's sucking the hose shut, and it's just sucking in air, and that's why it's making noises and stuff, which could be the case. I'm not sure if that's it. Yeah, so we're gonna figure it out. So I got the heat blanket off of here. I got this piece of the intake taken off so I can see a little bit better. I started taking this off and I loosened this up a little bit. It does look like we have an exhaust leak here. I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see that. See that? So yeah, there's an exhaust leak around this clamp here. So I'm gonna try to straighten that up a little bit. It does look crooked, but I don't know if that's because I loosened it up or what. So try to fix that. And also on the heat blanket, you can see it's got black all over it from exhaust. But from what I can tell up here, it doesn't look like any of these hoses, and the air just kicked on, sorry, so there's probably a bunch of background noise. It doesn't look like any of these hoses are bad here and leaking or anything. So I'm gonna take it up in the air, and then I'm going to see what I can see from the bottom and try to get a look at the back of the power steering pump and have a look at that, because this reservoir, you can see it is crooked, but it is like right in the middle of being full. So I don't think it's leaking out of the reservoir or anything. So that's what I've came up with so far. Still have no idea what the actual problem is, but I'm still going to try to figure it out. Trying to show what we're doing.
looser, we can twist it with our hands around to where it's easier to maneuver it, and then tighten it back up.
Yep. I am happy to tell you that the Genesis is now fixed. I couldn't be more happy about my car not making a god-awful noise in my life. It's literally the most satisfying thing ever to have it make a noise for like a month straight and finally fix the issue after trying for 3 times. It took me like 3 times to figure this out because I replaced the line once and replaced the fluid a different time because I had the wrong fluid in it, and then this time it was just a hose clamp that was making all the noise. So it's finally fixed. It ended up being just a hose clamp that wasn't tightened down all the way. It felt tight, but I started to see it like dripping out from where the hose clamp was. So we replaced the hose clamp, put a brand new one on there, tightened it down as tight as we could, and solved the issue. So it was literally something so stupid that was giving me all these issues. This is what happens when you modify your car, kids. You don't tighten down hose clamps all the way, and you end up spending like a month trying to figure out where the fucking leak's coming from. So this is what happens when you modify your car. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, I know it was kind of just about fixing shit, but if you did like it, leave a like on the video. It helps us out a lot, and we'll see you guys later.